Hey everybody, this is Darkseid Elite here, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I just added in some new music. I think I got it just right. But I wanted to make this podcast because I want to talk about a few of the things that's been going on, that I've been hearing about. I'm very, very happy with. It seems like Henry Cavill is going to be coming back as Superman. However, there'll be a downside. There's talks about that it's going to be a completely different version of Superman than we know. This is something that we should have already knew that they're going to try to do something a little bit different with Superman. They're going to give us what we want, but we also want to give something that they want to do. They feel like they want to get away from Zack Snyder, not in a bad way, but in a good way, to see what we can do, but keep the people involved. Now, one of the bigger things is Ben Affleck going to come back? Now, I think that he should come back in a very limited role as Batman. And honestly, I think that I've said it before and I say it again. I truly do believe that the true best way to do Batman is to move away from Bruce Wayne and let's get to Dick Grayson. Let's introduce Dick Grayson, put him in the cowl, get us introduced to his Batman, and see how we really, really like it. On top of that, I do also believe that the next best way is bring in Tim Drake. People are going to say, well, what about Damian? I say, well, we don't know if they're going to continue on with a Damian Wayne. I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't bring him in. I'm just saying that, what about Tim? Tim has been a very vital part of Batman's universe for over 20 years. Damian Wayne is fresh and new, yes, but that doesn't mean that he needs to be overlooked. He needs to be overdone with over Tim Drake, who's been Bruce Wayne's Robin for a very long time, and he was never in anybody's shadow. And it just, to me, I mean, yes, I'm a huge Tim Drake fan, but I'm also a huge Dick Grayson fan, and I would love to see him in the cowl. I would love to see him in the cowl. I would love to see a story with like I think I brought it up. Yeah, I did bring it up. I think that we should do a story of the Red Hood, but it's not Batman. It's not Bruce. It's actually Richard stopping Jason Todd from destroying the legacy of Batman even further than what Bruce Wayne did during BVS. Or if they're not going to introduce BVS, but it still doesn't matter. It's basically Dick Grayson trying to live up to the new standard of how he wants to do Batman, and Jason Todd coming in and trying to do a Punisher style Batman, and how Dick Grayson is going to try to stop Jason Todd from destroying the legacy of Batman and ruining anything of Batman. Like, he's trying to ruin Batman, and you still got that cohesive story that Jason Todd still believed that Bruce should have killed the Joker. He blames Bruce for what happened to him. Also, he blames the fact that Dick Grayson didn't even do it himself. He should have killed the Joker. Like, come on, I know we weren't that close, but still, the Joker went over a line too far. Like, add in that line. That'd be great to hear from Jason Todd. He even blames Dick Grayson for not doing it. What about Alfred? Alfred should have put a bullet in that clown's face. You know, it should have been a lot of him throwing the blame around everybody, and them all feeling the fact that should the Joker live, and that should be the cohesive story that they put in there. And it should be a two-part movie that leads into that situation. And then you bring in Tim Drake, and Tim Drake is trying to tell Dick Grayson that Dick Grayson is right, that the legacy of Batman is not about vengeance against the criminals. It's about redemption and making sure that the people know that the city's gonna be protected. Like Tim Drake comes in with a great concept of what he believes being a vigilante is all about, and then you have more storylines and everything else. You intermix these storylines into the grander scope of the DCEU, and then you can have Tim Drake. Literally, he doesn't have to be at Batman's side all the time. He can go off and create, I don't know, Teen Titans. And that'd be great for him to do, you know, and that should be, and then you don't have to go back in time. You can actually now start. You can start something really fresh and new, and then, yes, in some ways you can do the Dick Grayson storylines with Tim Drake involved and how he created the Teen Titans, but you shouldn't make any animosity between the two of them like we see in Titans. We should have it where Tim just leaves him on his own because he says, hey, you really on it. I want to see what I could do on my own. And Tim's in there. And Dick Grayson's sitting there telling him, hey, you know what? You're right. Let's see what you could do on your own, kid. But good luck. And he goes, all right. And then that's it. And then if you introduce Damian Wayne into the mix, Damian tells everyone to get the heck out of his house. This is his house. This is his house. He's a Wayne. He's a Wayne by blood. And then you find out this whole thing that he's not a legitimate Wayne. He's a genetic creation. He is a true abomination. I don't care what anybody says. Talia never had him inside of her. Bruce was never in his life because Talia refused it. Talia test tube babied him and genetically tinkered his DNA to make him the perfect warrior, the perfect killer, basically, the perfect what she believes is the perfect Batman. And you can introduce that. You can introduce a good teenage kid, about 14, 15 years old, and bring that whole situation in. And Dick Grayson is wondering what is he gonna do? Is he gonna destroy the legacy of Batman? Is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do this? And I do personally believe that that is honestly the best way to do Batman. That is honestly the best way to do a Batman in the DCEU, and keeping the cohesiveness of what they're doing. I think that the whole Matt Reeves should be an alternate universe Batman. That should not be the Batman that we know, because from what we're reading, and a lot of people are getting very ticked off about what's going on. They're not ticked off at Matt Reeves. They're more ticked off at the stars, because they're like, who the heck cares? I mean, now it seems like Robert Pattinson is not keeping himself in shape. He's just like lounging around. I don't know. I'm not 100% about it. He might be still trying to keep himself in shape, but he's not showing much improvement in his physique. And it's like, what? Dude, Batman's supposed to be a machine. He's supposed to be freaking huge. He's supposed to be scary looking, not... I mean, as much as Christian Bale was a great actor, I didn't find him very intimidating. I find Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton's versions ridiculously intimidating, because Michael Keaton just looks like he's ready to kick the living daylights out of you. He doesn't care. He's willing to take blows and start swinging for the fences. Ben Affleck's willing to throw you through walls and keep coming like a bull, and there's nothing you can do about it. I didn't feel that much from Val Kilmer's, just because of the whole ambiance of the way the movie was, and even George Clooney's. It was goofy, and Christian Bale's version didn't feel like Batman. He just felt like a dude in a suit. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just how I felt about it. I still liked the first and second movie. I did not like the third. It did not feel like a Batman movie. It didn't feel like Batman versus Bane. It just felt weird. It just felt really off. Like there was some things that were off. The characters were off. The whole storyline was off. It just felt off. And I don't want to get into that. Now, about Superman. I'm hoping that this is true. There are a lot of people are saying it's true. WB has not sent out anything, and neither has Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill would send out a lot of stuff about that he is back, and I think that right now they're still trying to formulate a lot of stuff, a lot of the nuances of what they want to do. I'm hoping that they just say, hey, you know what, let's see what ideas that he has. Let's see if it works together with what we have, and let's work together and make us a really good Superman movie. It's still in my personal opinion, I think that Zack Snyder should still be an executive and a producer on some of the movies and executive on other movies. And a lot of directors should at least consider, yes, keeping to their own little tempo, but if they're not going to create a universe, then yeah, let the directors do what they want. But if they are, then at least keep to a coherent tone to the whole movie, so at least we all understand what's going on. Now, we don't know much about The Flash, and I'm very happy about that. Now, Zack Snyder did post also a picture of Darkseid. I did not want to see it. I'm actually very upset. I'm very upset about it. I don't want to see a picture of Darkseid. I want to see Darkseid in the movie. I saw the black and white. I'm perfectly fine. I don't want to see a high-res version of him, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm not on social media anymore, because people are going to be posting it all over the place saying, oh man, this is so cool, or man, this is so stupid, why should we care? It's just like, dude, you're just posting all over the place just for stupidity. I mean, if you don't care, don't post it. And a lot of people, and I haven't seen a lot of posting of it, which I'm very happy about. I just went onto my Facebook, didn't even see it. So I'm like, great. I don't want to see any more Darkseid. I want to see him in the movie. I want to see him in the movie. I want to see how they write him. I want to see how Ray Porter acts. Now, also on the same tempo, Ray Porter, they also asked Ray Porter, have you been approached about the New Gods movie? And he said, no one's ever talked to me about the New Gods movie. So that means to me, this thing has been in the can. This thing's been in the works for over like almost 2 years now. I don't think this is gonna get it. I don't think it's gonna go any further. I think that right now, Ava DuVernay is working on something else, and they're pretty much telling her that don't worry about it. I think that we're gonna wait until after Justice League, after Zack Snyder's Justice League, for us to see what's really going on. And I truly do believe that a lot of people are gonna either they're gonna love it or they're gonna hate it. And I see a lot of people not are loving it. They're finally gonna be able to see this movie. Other people are like, okay, great now. And I did a video about this before. You got one guy who's actually kind of stoked about it. He's like, hey, you know what? This is what we're gonna be seeing. It might not be the same Justice League that what we heard, or it might not be just like what we saw. Of course, it's not be the one we saw, but it might be a little bit different than the one we heard because Zach got about $30 million to finish his project. So that means that he's going to finish the ADRs, he's going to finish the visuals and the music that we put back in. He's going to oversee it all. I'm extraordinarily happy for Zack Snyder. I have not sent a message to him yet. I think that he understands that a lot of us are very, very happy that this is great news. The cut is coming. It's coming next year on HBO Max. Does it mean that we're going to? Does that mean are we not gonna get like a? Are we not gonna get a Blu-ray version? I think we are. I think we're gonna get a Blu-ray version if it hits out of the park. Just because it's on a streaming platform does not mean they can put it out on a Blu-ray or a 4K. That doesn't mean jack squat. It has to sell like hotcakes. People got to jump on HBO Max and they got to get a ton of views. If they get a ton of views, that means they can make money off of a Blu-ray version, and they're already thinking about that. So let's already throw that. Let's throw that to the side. I think they're already considering giving a Blu-ray version, even a 4K version. Speaking of which, because I'm kind of living like a king right now, living at home and not working. I am in works of possibly getting me a 4K television. It's gonna be relatively small, so I might be getting some 4K stuff. I don't know yet. I don't want to get rid of my plasma television. It works. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So I don't want to get rid of it. It works perfectly fine. It still has great life left in it. I gotta blow out some of the components just to make sure that the dust isn't gathering up on it and destroying it. But a 4K television right now will probably be very, very useful. A 4K player, good luck with that. That's a lot of money. That's about $300-400, and I'm not spending that much on just entertainment. And then now we got to get some 4K stuff. No thanks. So just a 4K television is perfectly fine. I don't know. I might consider it. I might just say forget it and just give me a regular old television. Wait till 4Ks really start to come down more in the consumer level range. I don't know, but oh yeah, my favorite song, the Batman Suite. All right, men are still good. Oh, I love this song. Now for the rest of the channel, I talked to Hawk, and we're gonna try to get together again. I'm gonna try to talk to him again. I mentioned it, but we didn't really do anything about it. I just kind of wanted to hang out. I didn't want to do a podcast with him. But I am gonna see maybe this Friday if we can do one on Friday or maybe Saturday. I will send a text to him today. Want to see if we can do a podcast. He's been very busy with a situation in his household. If he wants to mention it, that's his business. So and I really want all of us to be able to get on the same page. I don't want him to be diverted. I want him to be able to focus on, you know, what we're going to talk about. They also put out a semi slate about what they're doing. It looks like Flash won't be out till maybe late 2022, early mid 2022. Aquaman is going to probably come out around the same time. Good. I think that 2021 is going to be the year of DC. That's my personal opinion. I think that it is. I think that DC is going to really start showcasing a lot, and I think that Marvel is going to get so bottomed out that because they could have had one of the best ways to end Shield, and we're hearing that the final episodes of Shield is going to lead up to Endgame. So that's how they're going to end. That's how they're going to end Shield, and I think that Agents of Shield. And I think that that's the stupidest way to do it. But hey, that's how they want to do it. More power to them. Good luck with that. But I think that the best way they should have ended it was Infinity War. And Infinity War should have been the best way for them to end S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Endgame should have... and then they should have did a movie, a special that talked about anything that any loose ends that they couldn't match up with, because I felt that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should have been the linchpin movie that talked a lot about what's going on really what's in the movies, but they kept it so far away from the MCU that no one was interacted. And I felt that the CW, despite how I personally feel about it, I think they did a phenomenal job with their Crisis on Infinite Earths by saying, hey, you know what, the DC extended universe, despite how you all feel about it, it's still DC. And they mentioned it. They mentioned the whole thing with Ezra Miller's Flash. They talked about the movie universe. They mentioned a lot of stuff. So, but I do truly believe that if they brought in Henry Cavill for a flyby, that would have stoked so many people. If he was back in that suit, their ratings would have flew through the roof. If it got out that Henry Cavill was in that suit one more time, and we don't know, but it shows how he's being that Superman that we all know, the way they want to envision him, and they're paying very good tribute to Zack and what he did by even keeping Ezra Miller in the suit from the Justice League. That's a freaking that was a bonus. So I think that they really do appreciate that, the creativity that it took for Zack to do it, and I'm very, very happy about that. Now there's also a lot of rumors going around about Kathy Ann and what was going on the Birds of Prey set. And looks like it's starting a little quote unquote feud with our resident wannabe journalists, and I'm gonna call them journalists. What's her face? I don't care. If I mention her, I mention her. If I don't, I don't, because I really don't like her. Guys find her hot. I think she's a ball of cat piss for all I care. She's not that attractive. That she mentioned something that basically Kathy Ann kind of said, hey, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. And that shows to us already that, again, these people who say that they're journalists and they're talking to other people, well, they're full of hot crap. They're full of hot crap. They don't know what they're talking about. And they're just selling BS to get you to want to watch their stuff. So I don't care if she talks about, I'm all about the Snyder Cut. No, she wasn't. She never was. She just jumped on the bandwagon because she knew that, because she knows that eventually it's gonna come out and she's gonna be proven wrong. And all these other journalists out there, they're being proven wrong. The Snyder Cut did exist. Zack had a cut. He had something to show, and now he's gonna reap the rewards from it. And now they're backpedaling and saying, well, like, no, there was no, there was, we did know. And again, a lot of us are jumping on that. We're like, hey, no, it's fine. And no, we need to get rid of this. This is the toxic, to me, this is the toxic type of nonsense that really started the whole Snyder Cut movement, because these people were sitting here telling us that this cut doesn't exist. Zack didn't know the hell he was doing. They fired him. People are still thinking that he got fired. He didn't get fired. If he got fired, they don't have to put his name on anything. That's the way it works. They own the characters. They own the movie. His production company did it. They had to put his name. They had to put his production company on it. But him as director, if he got fired as director, they could change the whole freaking movie all they want, and they could have slapped on anybody else's name. They could say Snoop Dogg presents freaking Justice League, Snoop Dogg film. I mean, they could have put anything they wanted on there. They could have said WB presents, WB film, Justice League. They could have said that. They didn't do it. They put his name on it. That means he didn't get fired. So that means he didn't get fired. I don't care what anybody says. If he got fired, they didn't have to put his name on anything. Explain that to me. If you got fired, then why would they put your name on it? Wah, wah. Okay, so I really do. I cannot wait for this. I am so happy that we're finally going to get the things that we need out of this. I cannot wait. It's been a long road. It's been a long road for a lot of us. We've been really trying to fight for this cut, fight for everything to make sure that people understood what's going on with this, and we're finally reaping the rewards of us being faithful to the fact that we all wanted this cut. We wanted this cut, and I cannot wait to see it on HBO Max. I might say screw it and buy and might purchase it for the month that it comes out, and then let go of it. I just want to see this. I just want to see it. I just want to see Justice League, and hopefully by next year I'll probably have a little bit better setup than I do now. I gotta get a lot of stuff going. Hopefully even by next year, I hope I'm in a better place. I want to move. But you know, there's a lot of things going on first, and I got to take care of all that. I hope that we're gonna get behind, away from this Corona nonsense and all the things I've been hearing about. I don't care about any of that. I just care about the fact that we're finally gonna get this movie, and we do honestly deserve to see this movie. We've worked so hard. We all have worked so hard on this that I feel that that it deserves to get play. This deserves everything that we're fighting for, and I cannot wait. I really do. I cannot wait for this. And one of the best things that I can say for a lot of people is just keep fighting for what you believe in. I mean, despite the fact that you know how people feel the division between us as Americans, and you know the personalness that we all feel because of how you feel about the president of the United States or anything like that we are still able to come together to get this movie taken care of. Like I don't care what Common Movie Marks or Dave the Film Junkie or anybody else feels about the President of the United States. I personally feel the way I feel about the President of the United States and the situation that's going on, but at least we can put that to the side and say, hey, you know what, we're fighting for this cut, and this cut is more important than anything else, because this is a man's livelihood, and this is a man's hard work and his art that he wanted to present before everybody, and it didn't get any ounce of love. It didn't get anything, and that to me was the worst thing they ever did. They should have never ever did that. They should have believed in Zack and what he wanted to do with these characters, and stop the nonsense, because they could have made so much money just off of the regular cut. They could have made so much money off of the Snyder cut. If the Snyder cut made as much as BVS, then hey man, I mean, that's still something, and they still would have been under budget. They wouldn't have to spend another $100 million just to remake it into almost a different movie. That movie was I believe the movie was budgeted at $200 million. If it made 800, that's close to 4 times its budget. If it made BVS money, it would have been stupid. If it made a little bit more than that, that'd have been great. But at least it would have made something that made people go, oh, but it made a little over double its budget. That's sad. That's sad. So I'm glad that WB finally decided to let that happen. All right, so what's going on in the comic book world? Not very much. I haven't been really keeping up with my comics. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of wrestling and everything, keeping up, just catch up on my wrestling and really enjoying wrestling. But again, I'm keeping completely off of social media because now the personal bubbles are starting to burst and people are starting to get a little, to me, I'm getting a little pissed off over nonsense. And I want to enjoy wrestling, and I don't want wrestling to get personal. It should be just a level of entertainment. And now I'm listening to nitwits making complaints, and it makes absolutely no sense for them to make complaints. They are professional entertainers. A lot of us, myself specifically, do not care about their political beliefs. I don't care. You guys are paid to entertain me. I don't care about your personal beliefs. Like, you shouldn't care what mine is. I think they're an idiot. Okay, you shouldn't care? No. Okay, then why should I care what they're using? You know, belief is one thing, but action is another. And as much as her career is almost in the toilet, the chick who did Divergence, she pretty much became full going against the man, and her career is now almost in the toilet because of it. Because Hollywood doesn't want that, doesn't want that level of publicity. But obviously they do it in their movies, and they do it in another way. But this chick is not getting any more movies, and she's a pretty cute chick. She has a very girl next door look. She has the look I would say would be great for Barbara Gordon. But I'm gonna name it Shawnee or something. But they want to cast all these other people, and I think that she would be a great Barbara Gordon. She has that girl next door look. You give her long hair, she'd be great. But the problem is her acting is kind of subpar, and that's only because she does weird movies. She does weird movies. I don't know, but she has the look for Barbara Gordon. In my personal opinion, but her acting is terrible. I have to show. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's a lot of the one thing that I'm actually am looking for the Batman, Matt Reeves version of Batman is I want to see how Paul Dano looks as the Riddler. I want to see how he looks. That is one I definitely want to see, and I definitely want to see how Colin Farrell does the Penguin, how he does Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. When he does Oswald Cobblepot, I want to see how that looks. Is he going to be rotund? Is he going to have the long beak nose? Is he going to have the regular monocle, or is he going to have the glass in his eyeball where from the Arkham games? I don't know, but I'm very stoked about this. Those are the two things I'm very well happy about by this movie. I like the music. I do like Matt Reeves, but I'm definitely going to have to, in a way, hold back my enthusiasm. Because it's a Batman movie. It's not the Penguin or the Riddler. It's the Batman. So I have to see how they do this movie and how Robert Pattinson does it. But I'm not very happy. And I can tell you right here now, Hawk isn't really either. He likes Colin Farrell too. He likes Colin Farrell. I said Colin Farrell's Penguin. He's like, still no. So I tells me he doesn't even care. And you want to get people to care, and that's our belief. We're not saying that we want this movie to tank. I don't want this movie to tank. I want this movie to succeed, but I want them to take the criticism lightly because, to me, they're pandering. They're pandering to an audience that doesn't exist. And Robert Pattinson does not fit the role as a Bruce Wayne Batman. He doesn't. In my personal opinion, he fits more like a bad guy. To me, he fits better as Jonathan Crane. He'd be great as Jonathan Crane. He would be phenomenal as a Jonathan Crane. As Scarecrow, he'd be great. We need a strong, chiseled actor that actually can come in and just be that Bruce Wayne. And he's dark. He feels dark. In some ways, Ben Affleck can feel dark. He had that 5 o'clock shadow. He had that stone look. He had that feel like he's Bruce Wayne. The main thing, he felt troubled. That was the thing that made Ben Affleck really appealing as Bruce Wayne. He was troubled. And if you know Ben Affleck's past, he's a troubled person. He has a lot of dark stuff going on. But look at Robert Pattinson. He's happy-go-lucky, yippee, you know, stuff like that. But you know what? Twilight? Who cares? That's a movie. We're talking about personal stuff. And him dating Kristen Stewart, well, shit, she's a cute girl, and you know he was banging her. Who cares? I mean, shoot. I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, unless she was a B, I kind of doubt that. She was probably just arrogant and stupid. But at the time, she was one of the hottest actresses out there. She was one of the hottest actresses out there, and he was banging that. So it's like, okay, I mean, what do you want me to say? Just be a goofball about it? No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a guy. She was hot. He was with her, and he grew a brain and said, she's crazy, I'm out, and he bounced. But he's not a troubled person. He's actually a well-adjusted person. Ben Affleck is a troubled person. He's messed up. And that's what we got from his version of Bruce. He was troubled. It made sense. It made absolute sense. And I loved it. Ugh. And that's what made his Batman to me more appealing. I wanted to see more of his Batman. But I know the story says that Bruce Wayne dies. Now he could rewrite that. Zack could rewrite it and say, hey, you know what? He didn't die. He's still alive. Okay. But I think that he's going to keep to the ending of it. That no, Batman dies as a repayment to Superman that he got him killed. You got to remember the story, the whole thing of Batman's character in those last two movies was redemption for himself. He fell, and he believed by falling you stay that way. Once you fall, you stay that way. There is no redemption. He doesn't believe in redemption anymore. He stopped believing in redemption. And that's what this was about for him. It was redemption. He was getting old. He even said it. I can't do this anymore. His Robin is dead. Alfred's getting older too. There was no reason for this. And he knew the world needed Superman more than Batman. He knew it. Come on, let's be honest with this. No, the world needs both. That's not how the way the story was written. That's dumb. You can't say, well, the world needs all of the heroes. So no, that's a happy ending. What Zack was doing was he was giving a finale to Batman. He was giving a finale to Bruce's character because Bruce fell, and he felt that by falling, he stayed that way. He corrupted Batman. He cannot be Batman. This whole mission in Justice League was his way of saying, this was his way of bringing back Superman, giving the world Superman, giving the world a new set of heroes, and he dies in the process. He was co-signing himself to death. He did not want to be Batman anymore. But he felt the job needed Batman, and he was Batman. Now again, he can rewrite all of that. I feel that he's not going to rewrite all that. He wants that to be Batman's finale. Batman is going to die. Superman cannot save him. He can't. Darkseid destroys him, kills him right there to save Lois. Because Darkseid wanted Superman to feel the absolute level of pain, and then he gets corrupted by the anti-life equation. We all know this. So he would enslave Superman to his will. So I personally do not understand why it's hard for anybody to go, hey, that's actually a really cool way of telling a story. Everybody's so used to having happy endings. Really? No. The story actually ended on a happier note. Superman lived. Wonder Woman and all of them have a new renew of themselves. They defeated the greatest evil in the universe. And they are now reborn as heroes. And Batman, Bruce Wayne, in his grizzled life, finally believed in redemption and believed that Lois was the key to saving everybody. Saving everybody from Superman. and he made the ultimate sacrifice. Everyone's going to say, well, Wonder Woman can use her gauntlets. We don't know if the gauntlets can withstand the Omega Beam. We don't know that. You see it in a cartoon. Okay, well, that doesn't mean... It's a cartoon. That's the way they wanted to write it. Zack can say those things can take a lot, but not a freaking Omega Beam. Come on. He could rewrite and say, nope, she'll get crisped in front of everybody. So Wonder Woman dies? Come on, that makes absolutely no sense. I want Darkseid to be unstoppable against the Justice League. I want to be unstoppable. I want Darkseid to be so powerful that Superman has to go, he has to dig deep just to freaking do some damage against this dude. Because having Superman able to go toe to toe against him in the first movie, then what the heck is going to happen in later movies? You're going to have him mollywop Darkseid all over the place. Because again, the longer Superman stays under the yellow sun, he keeps getting stronger. Darkseid doesn't have that type of means. That means that over time, Superman will crush him like an egg and throw him away. I don't want that. I want progression. And I want Darkseid to be strong and fearless against Superman. Like, no, he's a joke. He slaps him all over the place. And again, you can't appease everybody, but I think a good amount of people, I'm not going to say a lot, but a good amount of people are going to respect the fact that killing Darkseid in the first Justice League movie is the worst thing to ever do. The worst. People are going to boo it right out the theaters. What? You killed Darkseid in the first movie? That's like killing Thanos in the first movie of the Avengers. That makes no sense. Darkseid can hold a whole arc by himself. Not you don't have to introduce the whole rest of the Apocalyptians. They can just do Darkseid. Just Darkseid. He can hold a whole arc all by himself. That is how great of a villain he really is. Then the next one, you could do Lex. Lex can easily hold a whole arc by himself. It's Lex Luthor, for God's sakes. Now people want to get rid of Jesse Eisenberg. No, keep him in there. Let him grow. Let him grow. Jeez, it's like they want the full set of everybody, and you don't see no growth at all, because you're like, well, we already see the growth of Lex. How? Where? Well, in Smallville. That's Smallville. That's a different Lex versus the Lex from the cartoon, versus the Lex from the Super Friends, versus the Lex from the animated movies. It's all the different Lex. Different situations create a different version of you. This Lex has little problem with the man in Superman. He just hates the ideal of who Superman represents. That was what he said. He said it verbatim. I don't hate the man. I hate the sin. And the sin is the fact of him being what he is. That's what it is. He doesn't hate Clark Kent. He doesn't hate Kal-El Krypton. He just hates the ideal of what the man represents, who he is as a core. That's who he hates. So why can't we see that growth? There doesn't have to be an animosity there. I mean, a pure animosity. But you could also see the fact is, if the Earth is in peril, he will join forces with Superman to stop it. Like any other version of Lex. They will not sit there and go, nah, I'm not going to join up with him. Some Lexes will be like, F that. They won't do anything. Let Superman handle it. He'll take care of it. It's Superman. And while he'll hatch his little plan in the background, while you have another version of Lex who will help Superman and still hatch his plan. As much as I hate John Carter's version, what he did in Crisis on Infinite Earths was Lex Luthor. That was Lex. Lex would always make sure that he lives and Superman dies. Superman cannot exist when Lex Luthor is around. He cannot exist. And that's what they did. They wrote him. His plan was perfect. He took the Book of Destiny, a page of the Book of Destiny, and made himself the whatever of truth. That is so... What? I laughed. I was like, that's exactly what it would have happened. That made sense. And then they did the stupidest thing. They let him roam around. They let him roam around inside of the vanishing point, the most advanced levels of technology ever created, and let him roam around it. Just figure something out. Like, are you kidding me? No, they never would have done that. Batman would have watched it like a hawk. He'd have been like, nope, what are you doing? Superman would have watched him like a hawk too. Like, hey, what are you doing? Wonder Woman would have watched him like a hawk. Well, hey, what are you doing? He'd be like, hey, man, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna use the bathroom here. Really? To use in the bathroom, huh? Like, Aquaman, you use the bathroom, huh? With a pitchfork in his face. Like, dude, what are you doing? Everybody watching Lex like a hawk. Batman would lay off of him, but he'd be like, he's gonna do something. I know he's gonna do something. Let him put that noose around his own neck. Who cares? Right now we got a bigger problem. That's how Batman would have acted. But he'd sit there and go, hey, what are you doing? He never would have let that fool walk around the vanishing point. Like, nope. No thank you. Not doing it. So, but yeah, I really do. Now, sorry, I had to change the music there. I really hated. No. I'm gonna take that out. Sorry. I really do want them to bring back Jesse Eisenberg. Let the guy grow. We're not gonna get that quibblesome version of himself anymore. No, that's gone. He's confident. He knows he could take down Superman. He knows he can do what he wants to do now, and they can't find him. He believes he's that smart. I don't understand why people feel that he did a terrible job. Why? Oh, so you're used to that Lex Luthor that was looking for land. You want that version of Lex Luthor. You want that Lex that basically his whole being is looking for land. That is so garbage. But good luck, dude. That's not Lex. Lex's whole being is to make sure that the world believes in Lex Luthor, not Superman. That's Lex. And it irks me. It really does. So but again, that's what people want, but it's probably it's gonna be so garbage. Listen, I'm not disrespecting John Cryer. He's doing the job that they paid him, but Crisis on the Universe, I was laughing my head off at his Lex. It was garbage. His Lex was stupid. But I love the situation that he was in with the whole Smallville scene. That was the greatest scene out of the whole freaking thing, and what happened with his plan for him surviving the destruction of reality itself. Are you what? That was a great plan. Nobody thought of that. That's why it was so shocking. Nobody was like, hey, wait a minute, what is he doing? I went, wait a minute, he's doing something, because he's calm. He's not being frantic. He's not saying, hey, what are you gonna do about letting me live? Nope, he's just calm as a cucumber. I was like, wait a minute, he's gonna do something, and he sure as hell did. I was like, that's Lex. That is Lex Luthor. I don't care. You guys, I cannot like his. I cannot like how they write him and all the other stuff. But that was Lex. That's a Lex plan. He made the classic Christopher Superman go bye-bye, and he survived. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. I am so happy about that, and I'm very, 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 very happy over the fact that that someone had the balls to write it that way. They could have made him goofy. They could have made him almost like a Super Friends version of Lex, and that's kind of how they wrote him. He's that mustache twisting Lex Luthor, and that's garbage. It's terrible Lex. But I love how they did his plan. That was a beautifully escape plan. Said, nope, I'm surviving. And he rewrote his story. I love it, where everybody loves him. He hasn't done a thing. He's not evil, this and that. And everybody's like, are you kidding me? It's Lex Luthor. Yes, the savior, and blah, blah. You're like, oh, wow. He rewrote his story. Beautiful. beautifully done. Beautifully done. Wow. Wow. I am so happy about that. And I think I said this before in my previous videos. I do hope that they start knocking on Joe Manganiello's door. I want that. I want Deathstroke. Once this Snyder Cut gets taken, is more in the bag, I think a lot of us start doing, hey, we want a Deathstroke movie. We want Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. I want Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, please. I will front that. I will put that all over everywhere. I want Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. I'm done. That man put a lot of work into that character. He put a lot with Evans, with Gareth Evans, and Gareth Evans even said that the treatment that he did was phenomenal. I'm like, what? Oh man, I want to see that Deathstroke movie. Please, WB, you're hearing this. If you guys can even get just this little clip, just this last minute of me talking about that Deathstroke movie, please show it to somebody, WB. Let them hear it. Like, hey, I want a Deathstroke movie. I want a Deathstroke movie. That movie sold you so many. That just hearing that movie broke the internet. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke with Gareth Edwards, the guy who did Gareth Edwards. I'm sorry, it's Gareth Edwards, not Evans. I'm so sorry about that. But the guy who did The Raid in The Raid 2, which was hands down one of the greatest freaking action sequence movies in known to man. Yeah, can you give me that, please? Can you give me that, please? Please, can you give me that? That's going to be phenomenal. It upsets me that we didn't get that. Oh my god. Oh man. Alright, 47 minutes. I'm gonna talk. Alright, what's the new one? Not Aquaman. Wonder Woman's gonna be coming out in another couple more months. So we got a couple more months, and we're gonna have Wonder Woman, which it should have came out earlier this month. They pushed it, so we don't know if we're gonna have it in the theaters or we're gonna have it on a Blu-ray, or they're just gonna try to put it on a streaming service. I still say, if it's DC related, put on the streaming service. Just put on a streaming service. There's nothing wrong with that. You're gonna have people wanting to jump on it. So people are like, well, not everybody has it. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't put it on, I don't know, HBO. Come on, think about it. Come on. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. There's nothing preventing that. Nothing preventing that. And I think that a lot of people need to understand that. Like, hey, well, they got to get that streaming service up and running. People got to be on it. They got to see if it's going to do anything. Now, Stargirl is on there. I don't care about the show. I'm nothing against the girl. She looks very cute, has a bubbly attitude. Just don't care about the show. They changed Dr. Midnight. They changed Wildcat into a woman. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Not watching it. Not watching it. I hope that it appeases a lot of people, but no, I'm good. I'm good. But I'm hoping that everything does work out. I hope that a lot of us can be able to get the stuff that we want. I'm hoping that WB does make some listenings and they actually do the job that they're supposed to do, which is look at what works and what doesn't work and make the best decision, not money wise, but the best decision when it comes to what's going to appease your base. And the base should not be the general audience. The base should be the comic book fans. because that's the reason why we have that Snyder cut. It's comic book fans. It's not the general audience. The general audience doesn't give two craps. They've already said it. They don't care. They don't care. So why? That means that the voices have heard, and they now want to see it. And now you're gonna need some bandwagoners. And those are the people that don't like the movie, but they jumped on the bandwagon because they're like, okay, let's see if it does anything. And if it does, guess what? They'll just they are just going to rape the movie anyway. Oh, it's crap, and you can obviously see that. No. He did a horrible job with the CGI at this point, and this point, and this point. It looks terrible. Really, the guy who basically makes almost a lot of films look streamless. Okay. All right. If you want to believe that, go for it. But I highly doubt it. But okay. Sure. So like I said, there's a lot of things going on, and I hope that WB makes better decisions and they stick by their directors. And we should also give the directors an opportunity. Like I gave Kathy Ann an opportunity. I haven't heard much of her, and she made a movie. It wasn't that it was decent. It was entertaining, but it was a terrible comic book movie. She stood behind her product, and that's fine. But now I think that somebody else should take a reign at doing Birds of Prey and give us a better Birds of Prey. It's not about men versus women. It's not about the subjugation of women. No, Birds of Prey is basically Bat characters who honestly want to do good in Gotham City, even though Batman's in there telling them, hey, no, what are you doing in my city? Stay out of my city. And they're still being superheroes. They're still being crime fighters. Being led by Barbara Gordon, not Harley Quinn or Renee Montoya. That makes absolutely no sense. Where's Barbara Gordon? So again, it just seems like they just threw out some ideas and said, hey, this seems cool, this seems cool, this seems cool. They needed someone in there. Honestly, they needed a producer in there that literally knows comic books and went, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that either. And they kill Black Mask. Wow. That's one DC movie I'm not having in my house. Sorry. Movie's terrible. I got Suicide Squad before I got freaking Birds of Prey. I like Suicide Squad a little bit better. Because that was Harley. That felt like Harley. And again, I still believe that Margot Robbie does a really good Harley. But I think that she was just so irrational by wanting to do this film, do all this great stuff, that she wasn't looking at the bigger picture and saying, hey, wait a minute, we need to build a universe here. And they didn't. They listened to her because it was her production company and everything else. And because they don't want to stick, the production studio did not want to stick their hands in it going, what are you guys doing? They didn't want their hands on it, so they just said, okay, do what you got to do. And we got that. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that they did that WB should have poke their noses in it. They probably didn't want to have that type of negativity, so they did what they had to do. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that you guys enjoy. Leave me some feedback. Say, hey, how's the music? I'm gonna probably put in some other music. You're gonna be hearing maybe some other musics. I'm also probably gonna put in other than DC music. I might put in some other stuff in there, and I hope that and let me know how you like my volume. Is my volume fine, or do I have to work on the music itself? Just let me know. And again, just leave the questions to just about what's going on with the video, and also what do you guys believe that they should be doing for the DCEU? Should they cater to us as fans, or should they give us a firm balance? Three things. I'm gonna say three things here. Cater to the audience, just give the directors their whole rights, or should they actually give a firm balance? And if they feel that both is not being equated, that they should stick their noses in it and make sure that it's equated, that both they give the fans a great level of respect, and give the director what they want to, and keep it at a firm balance. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they should do that? Okay, you guys have a great one, and thanks for joining me. You guys have a great day, and try to stay away from what's going on outside. It's hectic out there. So like, comment, share, subscribe down below, hit the bell, and I'll try to get some videos out maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, because I just really am draining myself out by being here. I don't want to go out now because this is because of a lot of stuff that's going on, and but please let me know what's going on. You guys have a great one. Bye.